Coming up on this week's episode of the Local Music Show podcast, we continue our discussion of songwriting with Jessie Prado, a little audio engineering from the Ron the Legend, and special guest co-host Rob Barone filling in for Jose. You're listening to the Local Music Show podcast. Yes, everyone, this is the Local Music Show podcast, and we are now in our 10th week and our 10th episode of our very first season, and I'd like to congratulate everyone involved and everyone who's contributed, especially my co-hosts, the Ron the Legend and Jose Almonte, show analyst and show contributor Esteeb, which has been a great contribution, I think, and all of the musical guests that we've had come through the WPB HQ studio. We've really had some fun times and some good laughs and some really good music. I am Derek Diamante, encouraging you to take a moment to visit our incredible subscribe button at localmusicshowpodcast.com. Trust me, you will be glad you did. You can listen to the show anytime you like, and you can go back to your favorite episodes and enjoy them all over again. Available for you all the time. Never any politics, only great laughs and great music. But you don't have to be a subscriber to listen to the show. I'm just saying you should subscribe just because you should. And as I led on earlier, we're going to continue our topic of tips for songwriting with local favorite Jessie Prado. The Ron the Legend gives us his inside thoughts on audio engineering for live performances. And joining us once again, filling in for Jose, special guest co-host Rob Barone, as well as show analyst and show contributor Esteeb. And the Ron the Legend has your weekend update.
Welcome to the Local Music Show podcast weekend update for Thursday 9/27 through Sunday 9/30. Today, you can see the Mighty Quinn at Clematis by Night beginning at 6 p.m. Rob Arendt is at the Wyndham in Deerfield Beach Resort at 7 p.m. Accents at Square Grouper at 8 p.m. And Mark Bissari at Rum Shack in Lake Worth at 9 p.m. Tomorrow, beginning at 5 p.m., Eric Ryan at Two Georges in Boynton Beach. The New Planets at Matthews Brewing in Lake Worth at 8 p.m. The Evil Monkeys, this is their next to the last show ever. Come out and support the Evil Monkeys at Square Grouper in Jupiter, 8 p.m. Friends of the show, the Goodnicks at the Village Pump at Lauderdale by the Sea at 9 p.m. Magic Bus at Rum Shack in Lake Worth at 9:30 p.m. All tomorrow, Friday. For Saturday, 9/29, Crazy Chester's at Two Georges in Boynton at 4 p.m. In a Sense at Square Grouper at 8 p.m. The Flyers are at Matthews Brewing in Lake Worth at 8 p.m. And Francine's at the Rum Shack in Lake Worth at 9 p.m. For Sunday, 9:30, 432 Vibes Duo at Matthews Brewing beginning at 2:30. Crazy Train Trio at Deck 84 in Delray Beach starting at 2 p.m. Bruja is at Two Georges in Boynton at 4 p.m. And Jim DiBattista is at Square Grouper in Jupiter at 7 p.m. this Sunday. If you'd like to have your favorite band or venue added to the Local Music Show podcast weekend update, contact us at TheShowGuy at localmusicshowpodcast.com. Come out and support local music and our favorite venues. We'll see you this weekend, and be safe, everybody.
What's the trick to getting someone's attention, your opinion, songwriting-wise?
Probably the melody. I'm a melody guy. Okay. So I write the music first, and then I write the melody on top of that. Mm-hmm. And I got to be able to repeat that melody in kind of a catchy...
Right, so that they walk away humming it.
Exactly,
yeah.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Like, now I play and people ask for certain songs. Just like, can you play that Money song? Because that's the one that they remember.
There you go.
So
See, that's really good that you're able to stick in someone's mind like that. That's really good. That's what I meant by contagious. You kind of take it with you.
Yeah, I had a songwriter say
There
to me
was still
once.
a joke in there. I'm sorry.
No, there's no joke. It's no joke. I'm just.
No, for real though. This one guy I met, he was on Bo Diddley's record label. He said the trick that he always did is he wanted, when the second chorus came around, he wanted you to be able to sing it from the first chorus. Like it was so contagious that you remembered it to sing it.
By the time the second
Second
chorus
time
came
go
around, you already
And that's
had it.
how he knew he had a good song. When people were singing the second chorus, playing live like you were just telling. So,
And that's what I get from a lot of your songs. Seriously.
that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, because when you performed at our launch party at Matthews Brewing, that was, I mean, you did 2 songs, and both of them were just
that was a
the
fun
same
gig.
thing.
That was a
Like
fun
you
gig.
knew you knew the song before the song was finished,
That's cool.
and I thought that's really cool that you're able to do that. Well, tell me something. I know there's a lot of original music around, but where's some of the good original the venues to go see original music?
Voltaire. So I'm going to start from a little bit north in Palm
Oh,
Beach.
yeah.
Just started doing that on,
Nice room.
I think Thursday nights.
A real nice
They're doing
place.
that there.
Yeah.
And then a little bit south of that, but Belvedere by the airport, there's a gallery, does it on every other Thursday night, and that attracts a really good crowd. The people that go there actually shut up and listen to what you're doing.
No kidding.
Which is intimidating because
Yeah.
I'm used to the Rum Shack Wednesday nights.
Where they're not paying attention.
Where they're not
at
paying
all.
attention. They're throwing bottles, and I'm used to that. I'm used to that kind of just playing and not anybody paying attention, but
You feel
when
like
they pay
the-
attention, it's like, wow, they're really looking at
Where you feel
every
like the
word.
Blues Brothers at Bob's Country Bunker.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Why are they paying? Are they fans of music or are they actually musicians? Like
They are
trying to,
fans
like,
of music.
dissect
They're
everything?
not musicians.
Oh, they're not.
The,
That's cool.
the people there are not musicians. So they're like fans of music. They want to go listen to original music. And they actually almost boo
when somebody
when
plays
somebody
cover
plays
music.
a cover music. They don't like that.
Wow.
That's interesting.
So it's only original. I'm like, oh.
So you don't know Brown Eyed Girl?
No. I used to think that was called One-Eyed Girl until my girlfriend corrected me. She goes, it's Brown-Eyed Girl, not One-Eyed Girl. I'm like,
If you sing it in Spanish, though, they might think it's an original. Well, not in Florida.
Yeah,
Well-
you got to go to Georgia.
well, all songs are like the 12 notes anyway, so you're going to
Yeah,
repeat
right.
it at some point.
Yeah, that's true. Well, let me ask you though, what is it that kind of drives you to continue writing original music? What is your motivation?
My motivation would be if I can make somebody happy about a song, because sometimes they'll connect to the lyrics, and they kind of. I've had responses where they knew what I was talking about in the song, because I write kind of cryptic sometimes, so you don't really know, but they said, oh, that's like you lost something there, and you're talking about it.
Right.
Like there was one song I wrote about a duck that I saw getting hit in the road. But the song has nothing to do with the duck.
Right.
But they could tell it was something that made me sad at the time. That I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it happen. But
And who influenced you to write songs like that, where it's cryptid or poetic in an odd way that only you would know? Who's someone that does that?
I don't know.
This just comes from you.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, if you were to, if we were to go to your car and look through your iPod, or I know we would get you listening to the Local Music Show podcast, but what other artists would we listen to? Would we find?
Like I like Blind Melon.
Okay.
Of course, Sublime is like a regular because you hear that every. But,
Yeah, I used to be a big Blind Melon fan.
and then I
too.
like some older stuff. Like I'm talking all the way back to like Zeppelin. I love Zeppelin.
Yeah.
And then Beatles, of course. That's like my first influence from being young.
And all of those are, well, especially the last two you mentioned, were definitely very influential songwriters. You know, the bands were known, and the musicians in there were strong in songwriting, and definitely influenced music with their songwriting.
And the songs are very different. Which one thing I did, I had a Rum Shack show the other day, and one of the bartenders there said, she goes, I like your songs because they're all so different.
Right.
They're so used to hearing somebody up there play 5-6 songs
That sound the
that
same.
sound almost exactly the same. He goes, yours, like, that's a reggae one, that's like a some weird Brazilian one. You got another one that's kind of rockish. You got a dance one. It's like I try to throw, So when they ask me for a genre, and they can never really, I don't think I have a genre.
No, that's cool.
So
Well, you have your own song.
my own genre. Yeah,
It's
my
called-
own genre.
It's called original.
As original. That's
Yeah,
what I
right.
was going to say.
But still, if someone can't pinpoint it, then you have an original sound. So I'll be there next Wednesday.
All right,
Is that the?
I'll buy you a beer.
All right, I'll bring my bass.
Yeah.
This is John, GM at Copper Blues, West Palm Beach. You're listening to the Local Music Show podcast.
Is that the Rob Arendt open,
That's a Rum Shack one.
open mic night
Yeah.
at Rum
Oh,
Shack?
it's that? I'm not going. No, I'm kidding. I'll be there.
And then Common Grounds just started opening up their Saturday nights. It's every other Saturday night, and they're right across from Rum Shack, next to Propaganda.
Okay.
And that's also the same kind of audience as the gallery, where people sit there and,
Oh, all
and,
right.
and everybody gets quiet.
Right.
They're all just they're looking at you.
Just in tune to it.
Nobody's on their phone. It's just intense.
Man, that would be cool to play to that kind of audience.
Because you're used to the people not
See, I didn't
drinking
know that
and
there's all these
clink.
different places if you're a songwriter to play. That's really
Yeah.
cool.
No,
But I get nervous. It makes me nervous.
Yeah.
That-
different
that
venues
much
do have
attention.
those type of places. Yeah, I bet it would.
It's like
And that place in Lake Clark too.
Lake Park. That's
What's the name of that one?
the Brew something Brew.
Yeah, but next to it they have like major acts. The Kelsey Theater is next
Yes,
door.
yes.
And then the place next to it's kind of artsy. And there's paintings on the wall, and you can buy any of the paintings you want. So the art that way.
That's the Brew House Gallery. That's the other one.
Oh, okay, because I walked by it to go to a show at the Kelsey, and I'm like, wow, these people are actually just sitting there on couches, like 30, 40 people,
Yeah,
though,
yeah, it's-
watching one
it's-
person.
it's not
sing
5 people,
original
it's a
stuff.
lot of people.
And that was really cool. It's not something you see in Florida, at least old Florida. So I'm glad it's coming around.
It is cool. Yeah, you've had a lot of good stuff come out of Florida. Not lately, but
Well, great bands back in the.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, in the '90s. Oh, sure.
you had a lot of stuff come out of Florida.
Nuclear Valdez, Saigon Kick.
Saigon Kick.
Or Marilyn Manson, but whatever. But
We were in the
there
same
was-
warehouse as Saigon Kick.
Get Out.
Yeah.
I mean, Saigon Kick was amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Especially if you have a Beatles, if you like the Beatles, Saigon Kick. Very.
I'm seeing
very-
the guitarist's show at the Funky Buddha. It's coming up in 2 weeks.
Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's playing really?
Yeah, he's got his own little thing now, his own show.
So talented. So talented.
And I think you touched on it just a little bit ago, but I wanted to ask you again: how do you come up with? Do you start with the melody, or the and the lyrics, or do you start with the music first? How do you do it? Or is it a combination? Or
Combination. I mainly start with the music first.
Okay.
I'll start either strumming something, and then I use a little recorder like you have right there, very similar to that. And then I'll play it in the car, and as you're driving and not really, your mind's kind of blank, things will pop up.
Right.
And then I'll record that on it, and then.
And that's
kinda builds
important
from
too, to record it when you think of it, because if you try to do it later on,
You
you'll
forget.
always forget
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
You have to capture
I
it.
heard that trick from John Lennon because he said he would carry a little recorder in his car, and he would record something because he said he would. By the time he got home, he forgot what he was thinking.
Yep.
But you listen back, wow, that was kind of cool.
It's like trying to remember a dream. You gotta wake up and
Yeah,
write
that's
it
true.
down, because if you wait 5 minutes, it's gone.
Some dreams could be like a movie.
Sure.
If you
Oh my
if you could
gosh.
record your dream,
Right.
it's like it's a movie itself because it's your brain working. Just at nighttime, your brain does so many things.
Now, what happens to me is I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I'll have a really good hook, right? And I'll write it down. But then the rest of it, what do you think that it takes to make a good, solid hook?
Simplicity,
Ooh, I like that answer.
kind of like advertising.
Kind of like everything else.
Yeah, advertising. Take the Apple products. It's a white background. It's just an apple, and it just says something really simple at the bottom. And then you look at something that's amateurish, and it's a paper with every
A whole bunch
logo,
of stuff.
and then people get confused. People cannot see too much. It's got to be very simple, and that's the biggest trick.
Yeah.
As a musician, it's very hard to write something simple. It's
Right.
easier to write something and throw
Complicated.
everything in there.
Overlay.
Throw
overdo
all
it.
your licks at it. Yeah, right.
But if it's the simple ones that people catch, and that's probably why our song "Shake the House" got signed because it was a simple song. It had four little notes, and for us it was like that was the worst song we ever wrote. But that's the one that got played on the radio.
But why do you say it's the worst song? Just because it wasn't.
We didn't even like playing it live.
You didn't like
Right,
it?
right.
I bet it was like cherry pie for Warren.
Yeah, like that.
That
yeah.
he just was.
I have a
That-
feeling
that- that
he
shake
never
the
wrote that
house,
song.
like,
I have a feeling though that's probably the case with every band. They're sick of playing their
The
hit
one-
song,
Yeah, I bet so.
and they like that sleeper that no one listens to.
exactly.
The B-side.
No more Summer of '69 or Brown Eyed Girl. Thank you very much. Could do
I
without
look at
Sweet
you
Home
every-
Alabama anymore too. But
I know we
I've-
finally
I've-
cut that one.
I've
but-
never not been to a show and seen that song not have success. It has success every single time.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if the crowd is silent. You hit those first few notes, dun, 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 and bam, there's the dance floor's
What
full.
is that?
And you know what's
that
funny
song?
about that?
I don't
is
know.
It doesn't matter if you're in the United States or if you're in another country. It
Or a
doesn't,
funeral or whatever.
It doesn't matter.
It's like, all right,
We need to come here more often, there, honey.
or a funeral.
sign me up.
But I'm surprised because
I'm just picturing at a funeral and somebody, somebody.
dearly beloved. Hey, Sweet Home Alabama, Grandpa.
Hi, this is Jessie Prado. I'm glad to be here on the Local Music Show podcast. Make sure to tune in and listen to all the great adventures. Yeah, I go out to a lot of bars in the area, and I love music. Pretty much if the bars play music, that's where I'm going. And I'm really surprised that there isn't a music scene of artists coming out of this area because there's
there
so
is.
many talented people. Like
Oh, it's starting though.
it's starting.
There's
Yeah.
some good bands,
But,
young kids too, young
yeah.
kids that are sounding really good. And
Yeah.
just in West Palm Beach, probably the best. I've been in the scene for like 30 years. Probably the best we've ever had in West Palm. Some of these bands,
Wow.
original music that I've seen.
No kidding.
Seriously,
It's taken
really,
a while.
really
It's
impressed.
taken a while to get there.
And I can throw some names out, but
Yeah, you
I
should. You
will.
should because
I will.
I mean, for all these years we've been playing together, it's been the best cover band and who's going to play this
Yeah,
cover the
right.
best. And that was the thing to do was get the party going with all the covers and that's what paid the money and got the gigs. And I'd love to hear some
original
real stuff coming out like
Something new. Yeah, but because I think what's happening is I think that there's nothing really that's of majorly popular of new music that people really want to listen to.
I think this. Speak of,
Unless you're 14 years old.
have you guys heard "Spread the Dub"? Anybody?
Oh,
You
yeah.
have? They're good, right?
Yeah.
I mean, really good, impressively good.
They're
If
really
you have a
good.
bad time at a "Spread the Dub" show, you can know no songs at all and have a blast.
Wow.
So they're that catchy, that much fun. Kind of a ska meets sublime reggae thing. They're really good, really good.
I've seen them at Propaganda a couple times.
It's not even my genre of music that I listen to, but they are just
But
they're
the music
super
was good,
talented,
Enjoy
really
the show.
catchy. Great band, great band.
I'll have to invite them on the show.
Oh, for sure.
Maybe do a live jam segment.
Yeah, because you love playing reggae.
That's the extent of my reggae.
Well, you can edit this out if you want, but I should bring this up because I don't even know who played, but everybody that was under 20 was at the amphitheater in West Palm last, I don't know, what was it, Saturday or Friday night? It was a hip-hop show, and it was huge, huge, huge. My boys went, they're 14, and everyone they knew went, and of course, I'm not 14, so you'll have to Google who was even there. But that is a big scene now.
Yeah, it is.
In South Florida and across the whole country.
Yeah, I know somebody who worked that show. They said it was really packed and really happening. So
Right.
Wow.
So when are you going to record some of your stuff?
I think I've got it down to my 13 songs that I like. So probably this year. I'm coming next month or two. I have a friend. You guys, I don't know if you know him, Rasta Rick. He plays a lot of reggae. He's got dreads down to probably his ankles. He's got a cool studio, and I'm probably going to record it there. So
Record there. Nice.
Where's his studio?
West Palm Beach, West.
Wellington.
Is it like a private studio?
Private studio.
Okay, so it's not like a business.
No.
Gotcha.
And the reason I know, because he released a single. I'm like, wow, would you record that? It sounds really crisp. He's like, I did that in my own studio. I'm like, well, if you could do that with my songs, that's
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
want that sound. So
That's cool.
Nice. Well, please let us know when you're keep us updated on the progress.
he'd be a good guest. He's very cool.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, hook us up. We'll get to put the show guy in touch with him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be cool because I mean we're all about local music and local talent, and we just happen to be into rock music, but it's all about local music and local talent here in South Florida. So yeah, we'd love to have him.
I went to. You guys are probably going to throw stuff at me, but I went to a Ryan Montgomery show the other night.
I would throw some at you
Ouch.
if I knew what that meant.
I don't need a reason. I'm just gonna throw stuff at you.
So
Quick, duck.
he's a local artist who does country.
Okay.
He's 19 years old, and he's the front man.
Give me
And
that back.
But isn't one of your friends playing in a band with
Yeah.
him?
Yes.
No, that's why you went, right?
yes,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I
Oh,
went.
you're supporting your friend.
I was,
Yeah.
and and there's actually two really good guitar players in that band, which, I'm a fan of guitar players,
Yeah,
so I wanted to see that. So I went to go see the show, and it was local here at Renegades in West Palm Beach.
How was it?
It actually was pretty good. I mean, the sound unfortunately wasn't up to par. It wasn't as good as it could have been, but musically it was fun. The guitar players really made it fun. It was country rock type stuff, and the kids sounded pretty damn good.
Nice.
Real solid drummer, and actually his 17-year-old sister plays bass.
How about?
wow.
That's cool.
So it is a family affair.
What is it with women playing bass? A lot of women play bass more
Yeah.
than any other instrument. They either sing or play bass. I don't see a lot of guitar players.
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of drummers. A lot of bass
No.
players. A lot of bass
Yeah.
players. It
Yeah.
must be,
Anyway, it
must
was-
be a real feminine instrument, Steve.
It's the little sister complex. And it's like, yeah, I want to be in the band. All right, play bass. I'll pick on the bass player. No, but Ron, I had a question for you. So you immediately go for the sound wasn't good, and as a producer and a sound man, I'm thinking you gravitate toward that.
I do. I'm sure I pay more attention to it than the average
people,
listener does.
right.
Because I'm always listening for what's balanced, what is, high pitched or what is overpowering versus something else. I'm always looking for that balance because I'm used to doing that.
Right.
So I do scrutinize
Probably kinda
other
look
people's
around and
shows
say,
a
"Are
lot
people-"
more than.
Well, that's a big room too. I mean, at least it was when it was the Bowery.
It is. It's still a big
you get
room,
a lot
but
of
I mean,
sound.
they had dual subs and they only had they were using EVs with 18-inch subs duals and 15s on top. It was plenty
Yeah.
to throw a lot of sound, but welcome to the Weekend Update Recap for 9/27 through 9/30. This week's featured venue is the Square Grouper in Jupiter. I will be announcing all shows from today through Sunday for the Square Grouper. Beginning today, the Accents at 8 p.m. Tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m., Rob Arendt. Tomorrow night, the Evil Monkeys and their next to the last show ever. Come out and see the Evil Monkeys at 8 p.m. For Saturday, 3 p.m., String Fever. Saturday, 8 p.m., In a Sense. Sunday at 2 p.m., Jericho. And Sunday at 7 p.m., Jim DiBattista. All at Square Grouper, our featured venue of the week. Tonight at Clematis by Night, the Mighty Quinn at 6 p.m. Driving down 95 to Lake Worth, the Rum Shack. Tonight, Mark Pissari at 9 p.m. Friday, Magic Bus at 9:30 p.m. And Saturday, Francine at 9 p.m. Staying in Lake Worth at Matthews Brewing. Tonight is open mic night at 7 p.m. Tomorrow, the New Planets at 8 p.m. Saturday, the Flyers and Friends of the Show at 8 p.m. And Sunday, 432 Vibes Duo at 2:30 in the afternoon. Keep driving 95 down to Boynton Beach and 2 Georges. Friday, Eric Ryan at 5 p.m. Saturday, Crazy Chester at 4 p.m. And Sunday, Brugia at 4 p.m. Heading south to Delray Beach, Deck 84 on Sunday. Crazy Train Trio begins at 2 p.m. Further south into Deerfield, the Wyndham Beach Resort, Oceanfront. Tonight, Rob Arendt solo at 7 p.m. Come out and support all of our featured venue and artists this weekend. We will see you out there. Have a safe weekend, everybody. Talk to you soon.
They weren't pushing it hard enough. And
So therefore, it didn't
yeah,
sound
well,
as good.
and I understand what they were trying to do. They were trying to give focus to
The singer.
the singer and keep everything back behind it until a guitar needed to come up and be that rock fill, you know. So I mean, I kind of get what they were doing. It just could have sounded a whole lot better, and I think
But have you ever mixed a country band?
music is music. You have bass, you have drums. I mean, it's a balance of what sounds good, and I understand that they had a focus for the singer because it was his show, and that's who they're trying to
No,
promote.
I'm
I
curious
get
to know
that.
people that run sound for different genres of music. Do you mix country?
treat it
even
differently?
even though country's basically rock now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's old school rock.
Yeah.
Do they mix the drums different? Do they mix the guitar different?
I personally don't.
I don't think the drum should be any different. That should be like the loudest thing, right, guys? That should be like the
We all agree on that one, right?
But it's,
You know, I found it is no matter what we do with the knobs and the dials.
If you can't feel the kick thump in your chest, then it's no good, right?
yeah, man, it's the pulse of the room.
Yeah,
the drums.
you gotta feel it.
You gotta
This
have
is-
the drums there.
This is the importance.
Yeah,
of,
despite what the bass does.
exactly.
this is the importance of good monitors, you guys,
Yeah. I love good monitors.
to make sure that every musician hears what they need to hear.
That's right. You hear what you need to hear so that you
So that
play.
you're happy.
You're
To the
happy
crowd.
and you
Yeah.
play your best,
Mm-hmm.
and it's up to the person that's listening to it out front to mix it
Make
for
that
everybody
happen.
else.
That's right.
That's what we're supposed to do.
Yep.
And we like to challenge Ron quite often.
I,
Oh, that one.
We being me.
I've been challenged a few times
and
by
we just
more than you.
and we just integrated a new board as well, so that was a little challenging.
I wanted to slug you for that. On show day, he hands me a blank tablet and says, "Here, we got a new soundboard."
Oh god.
I'm like, "Okay, cool." I said, "Did you program?" And he's like, "Yeah, I got it's talking." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, it's communicating. Yeah.
Well,
you can
all we did
connect
was
to
configure
it.
the wireless
Yeah.
from the tablet to the board. There was zero configuration on the
You can
board.
connect to it.
I had to add every
Wow.
button, configure every
I was
freaking
there, man.
button.
Every
I was
single
not
there.
happy.
You were not happy.
I was not
We got
happy.
to start in 5 minutes, and you're like, I don't even know if this thing's working.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
Like, oh boy.
I was still creating buttons in the middle of the show.
yeah.
Jose looks at me and goes, "I can't hear my guitar." I'm like, "That's because I don't have a button for it yet." I'm like, "Give me a second, I'll create one."
It ended up being fine though.
Yeah.
And just praying to God you don't kill the mains at the same time in the middle of it.
Jeez.
So the Sans amp, do you like that? Because no matter how loud I turn up on stage, you am not feeding the mains that. Do you notice that?
Yes, and I like it in the mains when we have a subwoofer that I can push it with. If it's only going to come through 15s, then it might as well just come straight off the stage. But
Right.
if we have a subwoofer, I like to have it in the mix because what I'm pushing through that sub is his kick,
Right.
your bass, and if there's keys in the show, some keys will come through the sub as well. Other than that, that's the only frequencies I push through that sub, and I put it on its own channel, so I have a lot more control over it. And I like to have control over all the instruments on stage if I can.
And does the mixing board have a crossover to where you can push all those to the sub, or do you have to manually do that on
No,
the fly?
I put them on a separate channel.
Okay.
I put them on their own channel, and treat it as a monitor mix.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the feeds that I give that monitor mix.
Okay.
So I have separate volume for each of the instruments as well as a main for that monitor mix. And
and then I have of course the knobs on the sub itself. So, but yeah, any time that I can have control of what's coming off the stage through the speakers, I like to do that because it helps me create a fuller mix out front.
Right.
And sometimes if you're not going to put the bass in a sub mix, then you hear it on one side of the bar and not necessarily on the other side of the bar as much. I mean, you got that straight shot coming up to George's right where everybody walks, right? And then you've got the bar, and then the other side, you can still hear it, but it's just not the same.
Right.
So I always prefer dual subs if I can, but
If I remember to bring the sub.
yeah, I always prefer it because it just gives me more control.
He's
We've all gotten better. We've all
gotten better,
matured
yeah.
into
Yeah,
our roles.
matured.
For
Exactly.
Yep. I mean, Ken started as a sound man. now
he's playing keyboard.
Now he's playing keyboards in front of 2,000 people and stuff. It's like, what?
You make it sound
happened
like
there?
Coming to America. I started washing lettuce. Now I'm moving up to fries.
That's when the big money rolls in.
That's when the big.
At Montgomery's.
It's like the Evil Monkeys are a farm team or something.
Yeah.
Poor farm team.
All right. So
Good
we have
stuff.
time for another concert story or something.
If you want to.
Did you say cocktail?
Help yourself.
Wouldn't be helping myself.
Hey, this is Brian Smith from Girlfriend Material, and you are listening to the Local Music Show podcast. Crank it up.
You are getting the feedback.
You once said to look in my direction, said that I could use a change of mind. Feeling like I hide it well beside her, taking all this view the longest time. Play along and sing along, remind me everything will be alright. Alright. Play along and sing along, remind me everything will be alright. 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 Seems like lately everything's erupting, taking all the steps to pass again. Your insides, they feel like a Picasso, feeling like it's coming to an end. Play along and sing along, remind me everything will be alright. Alright. Play along and sing along, remind me everything will be alright. 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 Never mind if you just sleep and end it. My mistake if I thought you'd be mine. You once said that I'd be yours forever, but forever is a long, long time. It's alright. Alright. It's alright. Alright. Mind if you just even ended. My mistake if I thought you'd be fine. We could leave it all into the nighttime. Never mind the feelings, they're all fine. Play along and sing along, remind me everything will be alright. Alright. Play along and sing along, remind me everything will be alright. Alright, alright, alright.
That was a great song, guys.
All right.
That sounded
Good
really,
job.
really good. All right.
Awesome.
I started getting something there towards the end.
I know.
Yeah, you got cut off.
I burned up that guitar solo. Y'all just didn't hear it.
I heard it. I heard it. It was sound good. And Jesse, great song.
Yeah, that just sounds really good. We want to thank everyone for spending your valuable time hanging out with us each week at the Local Music Show podcast. We cannot thank you enough for your support and your sincere dedication to the show, to our bands, and to our local hangout spots. Be sure to catch our roaming Local Music Show podcast microphones. It's a great way to get yourself heard on the show and instantly become popular among others. Interact with the show by emailing us at localmusicshowpodcast@gmail.com. Join the conversation on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Send us an email if you'd like to add to the conversation or if you have a show idea. We'll be back next week, and we look forward to seeing you this weekend. I'm Derek Diamante for the Local Music Show podcast, signing off. Have a great weekend, everyone.